Ford High School Weekly is brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Oklahoma.
Welcome to Ford High School Weekly. I'm your host, Deanna Mate. On this week's show, we have some more basketball action for you. One of the best players in the state of Oklahoma, Marcayla Johnson. Marcayla, how's it going?
It's doing good. I'm happy I'm here. So
Good. Now, how's the season going thus far? I know playoffs are right around the corner, but how are things going for the team in general?
Everything's going really good. We have a really good record right now, and it's playoff time, so we're all just getting ready for that. So it's really good.
Love to hear it. All right, but we'll talk about, the basketball team and how the season's going on in detail a little bit later. But before we get started, I want the viewers to get to know you off the court a little bit. You mind if we ask you some personal questions?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, first and foremost, I know athletes, and me being a former athlete, we all know how we get ready for games. There's going to be some music banging in the ears. There's going to be some music in the gym. So for Marcayla Johnson, what are some of the artists that you primarily listen to before the game?
If I want to get kind of hype, I actually like some Lil Baby. I like, not a lot of people like Yeet, but sometimes Yeet, And if I want to be more calm about it, I usually just do gospel rap. That's always pretty cool to me. But yeah, Lil Baby and Yeet and some Gunna. So that's it's kind of what it is.
All right, so let me ask you this. All right, so you're naming off different artists, and you're saying there's sometimes you throw some gospel in there, sometimes you throw some rap in there. Are there particular games where you're like, I got to be on point in a different type of mindset, so I put on this? And if there is, what mindset is that when you're choosing a particular artist or song?
The mindset would be for me this is gonna be a good team, kind of like a rival. I gotta lock in and stuff. I gotta play my rap, and that's when I get there. That's where I lock in and get ready to play that game. I say if it's more like a team, I know we can win that game. I'd be more chill about it. That's when my gospel comes in, and I know that God got me and my team, and so. That's kind of how I see it.
Man, I like the thought process. I like the thought process a lot. All right, next question. All right, since we're staying on this kind of pregame routine, what are some of your favorite foods, and then particularly the food that you like to eat before games? What do you like to put in your stomach before you get started on the court?
Okay. Just kind of like the basics before a basketball game, like pickles and stuff. I love pickles, so it's not really a problem for me. I like pickles. I kind of like candy before games. I don't know. I like Starburst. Starburst is so good to me. And just pickles, Starburst, candy like that. And that's kind of all I eat.
So which one of the Starburst is your favorite?
Probably the darker red one.
Dark red?
Yeah, there's the red, and then there's the darker shade one. That one's really good. That's my favorite.
I'm more of a pink guy myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people that like pink over a lot of colors.
I'm one of the majority.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to school. We are, student athletes here at Ford High School Weekly. So what's your favorite class?
My favorite class? It's crazy because I take choir.
Really?
So choir is my favorite class. I'm not gonna lie. Choir is my favorite class because I try to get out of my comfort zone this year so I can be I took choir my sophomore year, try to do something different. So it's kind of it's not even a class. We all just sing and hang out, and I have new friends there. So that's really good. I just think that it's a good opportunity, to step out of my comfort zone and do something that I never thought I would want to do. So yeah, choir is my favorite class.
All right. So what's something that you've learned this year in choir that's kind of intrigued you the most or kind of surprised you when they kind of broached the subject in class?
I think how to take care of your voice. I think that's the main thing because I do a lot of yelling and screaming for basketball and just kind of in general. So I didn't know that professional singers actually have to like not yell or talk so much so they won't ruin their voice. So that's something I never knew. I thought we all just do the same thing and they just sing, and I didn't know any of that. So I think that's pretty cool.
Don't let me find out you're over here preparing your group so you can yell louder on the basketball court. Drinking tea and honey and everything before games. I know what you're doing. Well, when we come back, we'll talk to Marcayla Johnson about how she got into basketball and so much more here on Ford High School Weekly. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. We're talking to the star of the Booker T. Washington Lady Hornets team, Marcayla Johnson. Marcayla, now, how did you get started playing basketball?
That's a good question. How I got started was I played since I was 5, and I always was in upward and everything like that, like the little leagues. And I saw my brother, well, because we were at his game, and I saw my brother play, and I was like, dang, that looked kind of fun. That looks kind of fun, and I want to see if I can do that, you know? And he used to talk to me about it. Like, he used to be like, oh, this game is so fun. Like, I mean, I'm on the floor, I'm shooting baskets. So I'm like, oh, snap. Like, I kind of want to try. So yeah, I got into that with my dad, and he was a coach. So yeah, that's how I started it.
So it all started with upward basketball, huh?
Right.
All right. So what was some of the things that kind of intrigued you about the game, other than, you know, your brother playing and your dad coaching? What were some of the intangibles about the game on the floor that you really enjoyed?
I would say like the energy it brought me, like missing the basket or making one. It just like how energetic I was, and just how I can interact with my teammates, and how just like I don't know, the vibe of the game. It was really just fun to me. I say just like making a basket. I used to get so hyped, and I watch my family get hyped, and it's just like, dang, this is so much fun. Um, and I say the energy it brought me and new opportunities and stuff like that. So.
All right. So who are some of the individuals that you looked up to in the game? I mean, you mentioned your brother and how he played and encouraged you to play. You mentioned your dad coaching, but as far as like players that you've seen on TV or other individuals around the sport that's helped you come along, who are some of those guys?
I would say I love Sue Bird. I watch her a lot, and how she just shoots and is like a point guard. I don't know. Her passing is so good. Like, I watch Sue Bird a lot. I say Candace Parker also. Like, she's a beast. I love watching her play on TV and stuff.
All right, so I've seen you play a couple of times, and that the Candace, you know, kind of comparison, it's there. So, have you always been this good at the game of basketball ever since upwards basketball, or did it take a lot of hard work to kind of get to this point?
Wow, you'd be like amazed. It takes a lot of work. A lot of people's like, oh, God gave you this and this and that. He did, and I'm very grateful. But it took a lot of work. And I just be in the gym with my brother and my dad. My mom would help rebound for me, and they would just push me as hard as I can be. And sometimes it used to be really stressful. Sometimes I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm very glad I didn't give up, and I'm glad where I am today. I'd also say that it took a lot of prayer and a lot of help with my mom, my dad, my brother. Me and my brother used to go outside, and I used to cry sometimes for losing, but because he used to score on me and everything like that. But I'm glad he has helped me through this journey, made me who I am today. So yeah, it took a lot of work.
A lot of work indeed. So, I mean, it's paying off, and it's really done a number of good things for the Booker T. Washington Lady Hornets program. But when did you realize? I mean, you've had so much success at such a young age. When did you realize that you could, you know, be a focal point on a team and possibly play at the next level?
I would say during middle school, I knew that I was kind of different from a lot of girls my grade. Just how I like shot the ball and how I just was a basketball player. And I was like, wow, I can really do something with my talents. and I just continued working. All types of trainers, basketball trainer. I had a weight trainer, and we just got in the gym and we just kept grinding it out. But yeah, I'd say middle school. So yeah.
Was there when you were playing, I know, you realized that how much you could, do with the game of basketball at such a young age, but were there any other sports that kind of had your attention at that time?
Not really. I tried track, but no, I like basketball a lot more. So yeah, not any other sports, just basketball.
So it's only been basketball since you were, playing upwards?
Yeah.
Well, one love is hard to find,
Indeed, it is.
Well, when we come back, we'll talk to Marcayla about the Booker T. Washington Lady Hornets and their push to the playoffs and so much more. We'll be right back here on Forward High School Weekly. Welcome back to Forward High School Weekly. We're talking to one of the stars in the 2025 class, Marcayla Johnson. Now, Marcayla, so correct me if I'm wrong, but is it true that you're already committed to the Baylor Bears?
It is true. I am committed to Baylor, so that's a huge blessing. And yeah.
So, all right, let me get this correct. All right, because we don't have this a lot here at Ford High School Weekly, but you're a sophomore, right? 2025 class. But so when did you start receiving offers in basketball?
I'd say 7th grade. Arkansas was my first offer. So
wait, did you say the 7th grade?
Yeah.
Hold on. How did this happen? What happened? Like Arkansas 7th grade, and they actually played college basketball for them. Let's go break down the story for us.
So when I was in AAU, they used to watch me. Well, colleges watched me. And I didn't think I was that good back then. I'm not gonna lie. I think I was pretty cool. I was decent, kind of like the rest of the girls, like, and I guess they saw something different. And they asked me to call them one time. And I'm just like, okay, well, let me get my family around because it's my first call of a college. And they're like, what'd they say? They're like, I really love your game. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. I just want to talk to you guys and claim our spot now. And they offered me. And at first I was confused because I'm in 7th grade and I'm just like, wait, does that mean I have a scholarship? And my brother's like, yeah, you got a scholarship. I was like, oh, snap. So yeah.
Wow. 7th grade. So is this kind of unheard of, or is this? Have you heard stories like this when girls getting offered at such a young age? I mean, in middle school.
Not really. I haven't really heard a lot about it. Honestly, I didn't even know they could recruit at such a young age. I didn't even know that was a thing. So yeah, I was kind of new to it.
So who were like after that happened? How many other scholarship offers did you kind of obtain before making your final decision?
So I had about 16 or 17 offers before I committed to Baylor. All D1, so that's a huge blessing. But Baylor, they've recruited me since beginning of 8th grade. So yes.
All right, so I know that Baylor's kind of had a lot of success in recent years, a little bit of a coaching change somewhat recently. Did any of that weigh into your decision?
No. I've always loved Baylor. And between the coaches leaving and staying and all that, I still love the school. And it's a Christian school. It's a small, they're good at a lot of stuff. So I still love the school. I love the head coach there and all the assistants. So yeah, it didn't bother me.
So is there any any chance? I mean, again, you're a sophomore, you still have your junior and your senior year left. Is there any chances of you kind of, taking any other offers into consideration?
I can't say too much. Um, I I hope not, but we'll see how things play out. Still got 2 years left, so hope I do believe in Baylor. So
I mean, it seems like it. That green and gold looks good on you. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen.
thank you.
But with that being the case, I mean, what do you want to do, or what do you want to try to achieve and accomplish before you get to the next level?
I'd say in high school, I do want the 1,000 ball. I do hope and pray that's coming. Um, and I just want like a lot of people to remember me as not just a basketball player, but also like a good friend or a good classmate, or just remember me other than sports, but also in sports, a good athlete, very humble, and hopefully I get my name on something historic before I leave. So that's kind of how it is.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right. So before we get off this topic, what did Baylor? Has Baylor just always been your dream school, or did Baylor do something during the recruiting process to set themselves apart?
I think that I just love like their campus and how they present themselves. It's not too far from me. It's only like kind of like 6 hours. So it's in Texas. So I say it's in Texas. It's a Christian school. Um, I say the basketball program is really, really good. So they kind of just stuck out to me because they were kind of close to home, kind of, and and how they recruited me and paid a lot of attention to me, um, and how they kind of never left. It's been 2 years, so they just stuck it out with me. So that's kind of how.
Well, I mean, we still got 2 more years after this one, so we'll be keeping a close eye on the whole Baylor situation.
Okay.
All right. Well, when we come back, we still got some Lady Hornets to talk about. Basketball season's underway. Playoff time's right around the corner. We'll see what Miss Johnson has to think about it. We'll be right back here on Ford High School Weekly. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. We're talking to the Lady Hornets' own Marcayla Johnson. Marcayla, now the Booker T. Washington Lady Hornets have had an impressive season thus far. Like I mentioned earlier, playoffs time is right around the corner. I've seen the team. You guys look impressive, but what is it going to take for you guys to snatch up that gold ball?
I think that we all just come together and we just strategize and work out what can we do better as a team. Depending on the last games, win or lose, how can we get that championship? So I just think that, yeah, like I said, just come together, talk about it, watch film, like everything above, So yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. But for those who don't know, a team needs to identify their strengths and their weaknesses to kind of move forward and get to the place they need to go. For you right now, what is something that your team needs to work on and improve on so they can make that strong push in the playoffs?
I say talking when we're tired. I know a lot of teams struggle with that sometimes. But I say talking, communicating on defense or offense. Someone doesn't know the play, help them in the moment, and just on defense, just keep communicating to each other. I think that helps a lot. So yeah.
All right. So on the opposite end, what are some of the strengths that your team has that can overcome for some of the mistakes that are going to happen throughout games?
I think that we move the ball really well. I think that we know each other's personnel and who can do these and who can do that. I say that we shoot the ball when it's moved really well. I also think we defend. I think we defend pretty good as a team, and we do a lot of ball movement. We have a lot of guards, so we all just push it. So I think that's the stuff that we do really good at.
All right, so this season, I'm sure there's been some ups and some downs, but what's some of your favorite moments thus far? And so one moment that's kind of been the defining moment for your team, kind of the thing that pushed y'all forward into having a successful one.
I think just knowing each other, being around each other, because in the beginning of the season we didn't really know each other that well as a team. A lot of freshmen came in, and as sophomores, so it was kind of hard to know each other and know our personnel on the court and off the court. But now, since we're close to playoffs, I think we know each other really well as a team, and I think that helped us push and help communicate and stuff on the court. And yeah.
So before we get you out of here, say the true goal of the Lady Hornets this season and how they want to end off is what?
Our true goal is to bring home the gold home, bring home that championship. But our main goal is to do good this season. We're still a very young team, so but yeah, get to state. That's our goal.
Get to state. I like it. I mean, the gold ball is it's used to being in Booker T. Washington, so it'd be a familiar place for them.
Right.
Well, Marcayla, thank you so much for joining us. We really, really enjoy watching you play basketball, and continue to have the success you will have, and we'll be watching out for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Be sure to go to YurView.com/OK for highlights and replays of the fourth game of the week. And check out our podcast and past episodes at YurView.com/OK. And remember, guys, only the best in Oklahoma, like Marcayla Johnson, make it to Ford High School Weekly. So thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm Deon Amade.
Ford High School Weekly has been brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Oklahoma.